Hi, I'm Hazel and this is Beautiful with Plants, where I share my journey to less stress and more beauty with yummy plant-based food. Now, usually I talk about how food can support your skincare, but today this is a story on how to be more gentle with yourself. I try to be committed to my health and what I eat, and I still fail at being healthy a lot more often than I would like to admit to myself. And in those moments, my inner critic really gets me down. Well, not even in those moments. For years and years and years, whenever I've woken up, that inner critic is already on my back. She makes me walk up to the mirror and look at my pudgy stomach in the mirror so that she can highlight to me how I still haven't made it, and that I don't look like I should, and because I don't look like I should, I am a human failure. And I really want to stop living like that. It's too much stress, and it's frankly unnecessary and unhelpful. But she won't really shut up. So I've had to figure out a way to get around her. So I have made the big decision to be gentler on myself, but how does one do that? It's a long road from daily self-torture to daily self-care, and I've just never been able to stomach like those big actions, like a 3-month plan or a week of fasting. And so I've had to kind of come to compromises with myself, or just to find like baby steps to work through. For example, in another part of my life, I love to read. Well, I loved to read when I was a kid. I loved getting lost in those big fantasy novels, and I would really like to get back into that these days. But even when I've made the bargain of just like one tiny little poem, maybe one poem per day, that just like, it's still really difficult to do. Like really, really difficult, because you should be doing things that are more productive, and you should be getting ahead in life, and you should. So I would really like to have a better relationship with myself and with food, and I've been thinking about what would be like the healthy equivalent of just one poem a day. I could maybe stomach that. And of course the inner critic is like, you have to eat more salad. You've been eating plant-based for like 8 years now. You're pathetic for the fact that you can't like love and massage kale salad. Which I frankly think is a little bit unfair, because I have tried to massage a kale salad, and add pear and not add anything sweet and add hardly any dressing to it, because that's super, super healthy, and it just sucks. It really, really sucks. However, because I'm a nerd, I've been doing some investigating, and I found this huge list of 3,000 food and drinks with all of their antioxidant counts listed right next to them. And the wonderful, wonderful news is that tea beats out all those salady leafy greens. Tea is actually a leafy green. When you think about it, they just pluck those green leaves right off the tea plant, and then they do all sorts of things to it to make it into tea, but eventually by the time it comes in its little package to you, you've got the most convenient version of a leafy green that you'll ever come across, probably for your whole life. So let's work through it. Okay, so first, to establish our base, let's look at kale and the amount of antioxidants in that. We all know that kale is very nutritious for you, and in this amount of kale, which is about 100 grams, it has an antioxidant score of 268, which is very good. Lettuce, iceberg lettuce, is at basically 2 or 3 compared to 268, so that's like 100 times more than iceberg lettuce. Spinach, which we all know is also a very healthy leafy green, actually has an antioxidant score of 90. So kale is still 3 times more than spinach. So yes, that's why we keep hearing about kale. Let's now give some well-deserved attention to tea, and you're going to see why. And we'll start at the very basic level, the tea with the least amount of antioxidants, which is black tea, or in this case specifically Darjeeling black tea. This cup of Darjeeling has an antioxidant count of 280. That is already at the level of kale. Wow, 1 cup of tea already gets you to where kale could take you, which is already the best leafy green. That's fantastic. That is really, really fantastic. Let's step it up now to loose leaf green tea, which is higher again than black tea because I think it's because there's less processing of the tea leaves. Loose leaf green tea sits in the low 300s. If you look at Sencha, which is 310, or gunpowder loose leaf green tea, which is 327. So just if you've got any sort of loose leaf green tea, you can think of it as in the low 300s, which again is creeping up even higher than that 100 grams of leafy kale. Interestingly, while loose leaf in the tea world is considered to be better quality than tea bags, which actually are like the kind of nasty parts of the tea leaves that you don't want for the nice loose leaf tea, and then they get shoved into, they get chopped up and shoved into tea bags, and then they're packaged out and sold a lot cheaper, which is nice for your budget. It's actually the other way around in the health/skincare world, because all of that chopping up of the tea leaves means that more antioxidants are released, and so you're able to get more from them. So, for example, when it comes to green tea in tea bags, the antioxidant counts are over 500 or even over 600. So specifically, jasmine green tea, which had a score of 528. So 1 cup of jasmine green tea is almost twice the amount of kale. Wow. Just a normal tea bag of green tea was 655. That's like 2.5 times the amount of that 100 grams of kale. It's going to be so much easier to be healthy and gentle with yourself now that we know this. And then, of course, you're probably thinking, if you're a green tea fan and a matcha fan, well, just hungry for what the score of matcha was. And unfortunately, this study, which looked at over 3,000 foods around the world, they didn't actually make a score with matcha, which is really, really unfortunate, because I'm sure it would have been just through the roof. So, but if we think about it logically, all those antioxidants from green tea are getting leached out from the tea leaves, and with matcha we're actually drinking the whole tea leaves. So guaranteed you are absolutely going to explode your antioxidant intake by drinking a cup of matcha, if you can't eat that salad of kale. There is one thing you have to look out for with matcha though. If you're just adding water, then that's fine. It doesn't do anything to the antioxidants, but if you're going to add milk, then try to add soy milk, because that actually has an anti-aging component to it as well, which is fantastic. Then you're just doubling up the skincare value or the health value of the matcha. And definitely do not use dairy. You're wasting your time adding dairy, and you're actually, the dairy binds the antioxidants, and then you're just flushing the antioxidants out of the toilet, which is unfortunate considering how expensive matcha is, and we buy matcha for its health benefits, and then the dairy just robs you of them. I was really surprised to discover this in this study, and I'm also really delighted, because it means that if you're having a day where you're really busy, or you're having a day where you're feeling really down on yourself, it's those days that you really, really need the most nutrients in your diet. And those are the days where it's the most difficult to take that care of yourself. So all you need is to make sure that you're well stocked with some green tea bags, or whatever tea bags you like, whether it's black tea or loose leaf green tea or matcha. either way, even the worst option that you could get your hands on is clearly going to be really, really great for you. And I love that. So, I'm going to drink some tea now. I hope you do too. And I'll see you next time.